Hey guys, he's here back with another Veracity video. So Veracity hasn't really done anything for a few weeks now, but definitely last week really didn't do anything. I mean, just look at that weekly candle. We're still hovering at 0.0052, which is slightly above half a cent. And we're just grinding the bottom of the parallel channel still, which I think is completely fine. And you can actually see that maybe we're in some sort of symmetrical triangle where we're putting in higher lows but also lower highs. And so I actually think that if Verasity does get a move up, we might actually get rejected at the top of the symmetrical triangle. And that's fine if we just bounce around. The purple line is the halving. And I actually think that Veracity is really going to start moving hard after the halving, because not only will we be in a really bullish state for Bitcoin, but we also have the POV markers, the proof of view marker tokens. Those are supposed to move after the halving, like a few weeks after the halving. And that's going to be a huge supply shock as well, because they're going to be moving 90 billion of the 100 billion tokens to a different chain. So I think that for now, for me, it's really just, I'm just sitting on my hands for Veracity. I already have a bag of Veracity that I'm just holding. And if we do lose this parallel channel, I think it'll only be because Bitcoin is really, really tanking hard. And like, people are actually scared. Like, not just like scared like when we dropped from 49 to 38. I'm saying like if we drop down to like 30K, maybe even like into the brief 20s, like people are like scared. If Bitcoin's like really free falling, like Veracity's not holding this trend line, especially for like right at it when Bitcoin does it. Like if we do it and like we're up here, maybe we can hold it, but if we do it and we're already at the bottom of it, then I don't see how Veracity would hold it. So the levels I would look for are just basically the lows, right? Like this low right here at 0.0037, which is also where we tried holding support, basically before FTX collapsed. And also 0.002, 2/10 of a cent. This is where, so far, is the bear market bottom. I don't really know if we're going to come back down all the way there. I don't really think we would if we lose the trend line, but those are the two levels, which are pretty big. I mean, from where we are now to 0.0037 is about 20%, and all the way down to 2/10 of a cent is about 60% drop. So it is possible. I don't really know if it's going to happen. I don't really think it's going to happen. But I do think like 0.0037 actually could happen, but I'm not too sure about 2/10 of a cent. But if we do get down there, I would definitely buy some more. Even if we get down to 0.0037, I'll probably buy a little bit more. But I think right now, Veracity is kind of just sit in your hands and don't really do anything for a little bit of time. The purple line's the halving. So even if we just bounce around in this symmetrical triangle, so even if we get a move up, I think we might get rejected. But if we're just bouncing around in this symmetrical triangle until after the halving, I think that is completely fine. And I actually think it'll be really healthy for Veracity, because after the halving is also when the POV marker tokens are supposed to be moving out. So the proof of view tokens that aren't supposed to be used in the circulating supply, it's 90 billion out of that 100 billion that are currently minted for Veracity tokens, right? So they're going to be moving 90 billion tokens to a different chain after the halving, when Bitcoin's in a pretty bullish state. Plus, they're going to be moving 90% of the supply. Like, I think that's really bullish, and it also comes right around the climax of this symmetrical triangle as well. So if we did something like this, and then we broke out really hard, I think that'd be completely fine. It's actually something I'm looking and I'm following to see if it actually does play out. And if we do actually break out from it, which I'm pretty sure we would, I would be targeting this area here, which was at some point there was a time when I was like, because I remember trading Veracity a little bit around this time. It was between 2 and 3 cents, and it felt like we were not going to be breaking it for a little bit of time, but of course we did eventually break it. So coming back to this level to me would be really nice to see Veracity do, and I think it is really possible to do this year. But I do think it'll happen after the halving. So that's really an update for Veracity. Oh, I also want to talk about the Fibonacci real quick. So I haven't actually spoken about it. But if you take a look at the Fib, delete these lines. If you take a look at the Fibonacci levels, we're currently just hovering right at the 0.236. which is pretty good, honestly. And you can actually see the 0.618 is coincidentally right at this level, between 2 and 3 cents. It's actually at around 2.1 cents. So Verasity does, maybe we break out and come to it again, probably get rejected for a bit, maybe just hover in it. I don't really know what we'll do, but looking at the Fibonacci's and the 0.618 level, it's not ridiculous to come later this year back to 2.1 cents. And, that's before like the actual bull market. So I'm still expecting Verasity to do really well in the bull market. It's just when Verasity moves, it moves really hard, and then it just doesn't do anything for a long time, kind of. So we just have to sit in our hands, maybe accumulate more if we lose the trend line, and just wait for it to move. Because when it moves, guys, it's going to move pretty hard. I mean, just a quick example, if we did the same move we did a year ago, even from where we are right now, even that takes us back to 2.2 cents. So 2 cents is kind of looking like a lot of things are kind of pointing at it. So we'll just see what happens, but I do think that we're going to have to wait a little bit longer. But the Bitcoin halving is actually 79 days. Wow, I thought it was 80 some days, but 79 days away. Bitcoin halving less than 80 days. That's crazy. And one more thing, we always got to take a look at the Bitcoin pair. We did actually lose the support that we were holding for kind of a while a few weeks ago, and we've actually been getting rejected off of it the past few weeks. You can kind of see we've been wicking to it but getting rejected, so actually a little concerning. I don't really know which way this is going to play out, but yeah, if we do tank, so the point of looking at this, guys, remember, is if you guys hold Bitcoin also as well as Verasity, then if this goes even lower, then converting your Bitcoin into Verasity is probably a good move. I would actually probably convert a little bit of my Bitcoin if we do come a bit lower into Verasity, because I am expecting us to come back up to these levels later on, which is a massive move, right? Like even from where we are right now, even just like coming to the middle of this, it's like 500% on Bitcoin, which is huge. So the Bitcoin pair is looking kind of concerning, actually. But I do think that even if we do fall, I would honestly just expect Verasity to come back up anyways. So yeah, guys, that's Verasity. Not really too much to say, really. It hasn't done anything, but I think it's just to sit in your hands and just wait. Unless we lose the trend line, which I think you could accumulate a little bit more. I don't think that'd be a bad move at all. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.